But now it's time to see what her potential successors look like in something a little bit fancier as we begin the preliminary evening gown competition. Take it away, Stephanie. We begin with Alabama. Alabama has spoken with over 1,000 elementary students about the importance of childhood literacy. This 23-year-old was a trained dancer for 16 years and currently works as an interior designer. Alabama. Alaska.
Alaska is an ambassador for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. This 25-year-old covers groundbreaking news as a photojournalist for Coastal Television in Anchorage, where she is the first female to hold that position in 34 years. Alaska.
Arizona. Arizona is an animal lover with 6 rescue dogs at home. This kind-hearted 24-year-old currently volunteers with a foundation that focuses on child and domestic violence awareness. Arizona. Arkansas.
Arkansas's great-grandparents came to the U.S. from Portugal and Finland seeking the American dream. This 21-year-old achieved just that by recently becoming a first-generation college graduate. Arkansas.
California. California was the valedictorian of her class at Grandview University. This 25-year-old is currently a doctoral student with plans to become a nurse practitioner upon graduation next year. California. Colorado.
Colorado became a certified dental assistant at just 16 years old. In high school, this ambitious 22-year-old was a 3-sport varsity athlete who lettered in basketball, track, and golf. Colorado.
Connecticut. Connecticut has volunteered for 3 years with the Make-A-Wish organization. This 27-year-old has competed in pageants every year since she was 13 and estimates she's entered over 20 competitions total. Connecticut. Delaware.
Delaware auditioned for Disney's American Idol and advanced to one of the final rounds. This 20-year-old communications student dreams of becoming a sports broadcaster for ESPN one day. Delaware.
District of Columbia. District of Columbia recently volunteered at Children's National Medical Center, passing out toys to kids in the pediatric ICU. This 21-year-old former track star won 7 medals at the Amateur Athletic Union. District of Columbia. Florida.
Florida is a model and criminal justice student. This 27-year-old was the first Afro-Latina hostess of Sábado Gigante with Don Francisco, the world's longest-running TV variety show in history. Florida.
Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, and Florida. Georgia. Georgia moved to the United States from Colombia when she was 15 years old. Now 25, this international actress says that experiencing both worlds has taught her the value of diversity and identity. Georgia. Hawaii.
Hawaii is a full-time certified special education teacher at an elementary school. This 26-year-old is on the Young Executives Board for her state's Special Olympics team, coordinating events and fundraisers. Hawaii.
Idaho. Idaho's state pageant was her first time competing, and she found the experience empowering. This 21-year-old's family came to the United States as Bosnian refugees, so English isn't her first language. Idaho! Illinois.
Illinois is currently majoring in psychology and minoring in criminal justice. This 20-year-old wants to help others by becoming a family psychologist, specializing in domestic violence and sexual harassment. Illinois.
Indiana. Indiana was a gymnast for 12 years and is a former NCAA cheerleader. This 23-year-old dreams of becoming an organ transplant surgeon, and her hobbies include drag racing and riding motorcycles. Indiana. Iowa.
Iowa has been a mentor in the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization for over 3 years. This 27-year-old worked 3 jobs to put herself through college and recently traveled across Greece and Peru carrying a 70-pound backpack. Iowa.
Kansas. Kansas was a victim of cyberbullying in high school. These days, this 20-year-old journalism student volunteers at a domestic violence shelter and is an advocate for abuse survivors. Kansas. Kentucky.
Kentucky is a blogger and public speaker who is passionate about uplifting and empowering other females. This 25-year-old plans to eventually co-author an interactive journal with her older sister. Kentucky.
Louisiana. Louisiana plans to get her master's degree and begin working towards a career in public policy or communication. This 28-year-old admires Amal Clooney because she uses her legal experience to represent those in need. Louisiana. Maine.
Maine grew up in a very low-income family, so she's passionate about supporting teens who lack guidance and resources. This 23-year-old has studied cinematography and plans to be a documentary filmmaker one day. Maine.
Louisiana, and Maine. Maryland. Maryland is an animal lover who has assisted in the operating room of a spay and neuter clinic. This 26-year-old has participated in handgun marksmanship competitions for 10 years and was formerly a competitive figure skater. Maryland. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is an integration architect for a health technology company. This 27-year-old's ultimate goal is to help patients get healthy sooner. Massachusetts.
Michigan. Michigan is both a foodie and wellness enthusiast who especially enjoys cauliflower crust pizza. This 25-year-old competitive dancer was a member of the Michigan State dance team performing at the school's football and basketball games. Michigan. Minnesota.
Minnesota hopes to be crowned so she can help increase economic development through promoting and empowering female entrepreneurs. This 25-year-old currently runs her own wedding and events venue business. Minnesota.
Mississippi. Mississippi enjoys playing football and was the first female sportscaster in her high school's history. This Lebanese-American 21-year-old plans to pursue her Juris Doctorate and eventually practice family law. Mississippi. Missouri.
Missouri founded an organization aimed at providing awareness to help prevent sexual assault. This 27-year-old has a degree in entrepreneurial management and recently walked in New York Fashion Week. Missouri.
Montana. Montana volunteers at a food bank and advocates for the homeless because she grew up in a low-income household. This 28-year-old graduated college magna cum laude and recently created her own YouTube channel and original vlog series. Montana. Nebraska.
Nebraska is a certified child life specialist, serving as a liaison between children, families, and the medical team in a children's hospital. This 23-year-old once helped raise $10,000 for a family battling childhood leukemia. Nebraska.
Nevada. Nevada dreams of a career in the entertainment industry, but obtained her real estate license as a backup plan. This bilingual 23-year-old has already traveled to 10 countries, with Japan being next on her bucket list. Nevada. New Hampshire.
New Hampshire speaks fluent Thai because she was born in Thailand. This 25-year-old philanthropist began raising funds for cancer research after losing her mother to the disease 2 years ago. New Hampshire.
Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, and New Hampshire. New Jersey. New Jersey enjoys traveling solo and has already visited more than 25 countries. In her spare time, this 23-year-old flight attendant proudly volunteers with the Best Buddies organization. New Jersey. New Mexico.
New Mexico played competitive soccer for 10 years and once trained in the Youth Olympic Development Program for Team USA. This 23-year-old started the Just One Foundation, an organization that encourages students to pursue challenging opportunities. New Mexico.
New York. New York is hoping to become the first ever Dominican-born Miss USA. At 15, this now 26-year-old worked 2 jobs while attending school to provide financial support for her mother living abroad. New York. North Carolina.
In college, North Carolina was a victim of sexual assault. This 22-year-old used that unfortunate experience to facilitate a change in the Title IX policy, putting future victims on a path to justice. North Carolina.
North Dakota. North Dakota is an advocate for mental health awareness. This 20-year-old proudly helps others by speaking to groups about how she was able to eventually overcome bullying and self-harm. North Dakota. Ohio.
Ohio founded a nonprofit that provides free prom dresses to teens who can't otherwise afford them. This 20-year-old future architect hopes to one day restore this country's historical buildings back to their glory days. Ohio.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma dedicated her reign to being an advocate for an improved educational system. This 20-year-old graduated high school a year early, completing her junior and senior year in only 2 semesters while maintaining a 3.9 GPA. Oklahoma! Oregon.
Oregon recently graduated from Loyola Marymount University with a degree in communications. This 22-year-old's volunteer work includes raising cyberbullying awareness and honoring and supporting U.S. veterans. Oregon.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is starting a nonprofit organization to help bring the greater Pittsburgh community together. This 22-year-old competitive dancer's hobbies include rock climbing, kickboxing, and genealogy research. Pennsylvania! Rhode Island.
Rhode Island began modeling young and was the face of Children's Place at just 6 years old. This 22-year-old spends her free time reading and writing poetry, and now has become an advocate for ending domestic violence. Rhode Island.
groups across her state about foster care. This 23-year-old's family adopted 3 girls in 1 year, and she proudly watched her once medically fragile sisters blossom in their new home, South Carolina.
South Dakota.
South Dakota is an impressive athlete who lettered in basketball, track, and cross country in high school. Last year, this 21-year-old helped raise $35,000 for research and advocacy for women's heart health. South Dakota.
Tennessee.
Tennessee is a fashion and beauty blogger who stars on a Nashville-based TV show. This 25-year-old took an advanced photography course in college, and her photos have even been published in the New York Times. Tennessee!
Okay. Texas.
Texas's father used to be a professional motocross racer. This 23-year-old former tomboy also has a need for speed and recently learned how to drive a McLaren sports car around a racetrack. Texas!
Utah.
Utah runs a trucking transportation company that provides carrier services to a variety of industries. This 24-year-old speaks fluent Russian and Armenian and dreams of becoming a successful dentist one day. Utah!
Vermont.
Vermont volunteers with the Chill Foundation, teaching underprivileged children to snowboard. This 20-year-old studied French for 6 years and recently attended a 5-week art intensive in New York City. Vermont.
Virginia.
During football season, Virginia spends her Sundays at FedEx Field as a Washington Redskins cheerleading ambassador. This 22-year-old first decided to give pageantry a try after an ACL tear put her athletic career on hold. Virginia.
Washington.
Washington has been singing for over 14 years. After college, this 20-year-old plans to become an early childhood special educator to help young children who are coping with disabilities. Washington.
West Virginia.
West Virginia grew up raising market hogs and currently works at a produce market. This 21-year-old self-proclaimed science nerd won the top organic chemistry student award her sophomore year of college. West Virginia.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin has been volunteering with the American Heart Association for the past 5 years. This 27-year-old minored in mathematics and was inducted into Mu Alpha Theta, a mathematics honor society. Wisconsin.
Wyoming.
Wyoming had to undergo 3 surgeries after doctors recently discovered blood clots in her lungs and arm. Despite having a rib removed, you'll still find this 28-year-old dancing or rock climbing in her spare time. Wyoming.
Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
Let's hear it one more time for our 51 stunning contestants. They've each done an incredible job. And remember that this year you can help your favorites get into the semifinals. Just head over to vote.missusa.com where you get 10 votes per day, and be sure to check out the 2018 Miss USA telecast this Monday live on Fox.
We'd like to extend a special thanks to the mayors of Bossier City and Shreveport, Lorenz Walker and Ollie Tyler, and the Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser. I'd also like to thank our parents, state directors, the selection committee, and the entire Miss USA production team, especially our amazing president, Paula Shugard.
Thanks to Stacy Brown, Tanita Baker, and the Shreveport Department of Tourism, and our sponsors, Sherry Hill, Chi Hair Care, The Perfect Face Cosmetics, Supermodels Unlimited, and Margaritaville Resort and Casino. And a shout out to Venus Swimwear, Chinese Laundry, and Bold Sunless Tans. And don't forget to join us at 7 p.m. here in Shreveport on Monday, May 21st for Miss USA 2018 live on Fox. Thank you!